top handle. So we actually have a 650 today. It's not a 660. It says actually 650. So this originally had a smaller head on it, I think. So this showed up today, courtesy of Cam. Um, Brought it by, says he wants it done up. So let's do it. And this one's going to be a little more involved, a little less involved all at the same time. So I've already made a list of things that would be good to get. So let's go over that. Then we're going to take this down, get the bearings out of it, get the cases off for powder coat. That would be. I think the cases are going to be good. We just straight powder them, and they'll be fine. Bring it up here, that way I can see who's watching. See comments. Yeah, doing good. You know, plus minus per usual. But yeah, hanging in. So, for anybody watching from last night, we did the 440. That thing is crazy. Oh man, didn't put it in wood yet, but I started it and it is zippy. Oh, that 440 hybrid is zippy. Possibly the best running saw I've done yet. It just felt right to run it. So it's just amazingly zippy. So super excited about that. Hopefully we can get that off to Mason and get him to, work on that, testing it. Anywho, so we've got a list here. So if you got a saw like this that's kind of buggered, and there's going to be a list of stuff to do. So the dealer list: I need a new gasket set, an upper AV mount. This one's totally cooked. A new intake manifold, the pin bearing and pin, impulse line, fuel line and filter, the tank handle cover, and there's a spring. This happens to be missing that. I don't know why. OEM circlips. I think these dogs are going to be fine. The other one's a little bent. We're going to send those out for powder coat too. Chain catcher. It's missing the chain catcher for some reason. It's got a metal chain catcher here, but I think we'll put the roller catch on because it's just better. Going to be running a big bar, so nice to have a roller catch. A new oil hose and a fuel cap. It's missing a fuel cap, so it's quite a list. I mean, this is going to be pricey. Gasket set and flywheel. Need a flywheel side seal for this thing. So, yeah. I don't know whether this is the big seal or the little seal. I guess we'll figure that out. Aftermarket stuff. I'm going to get a new dual port muffler from probably HL Supply. Highway dual port muffler. Going to get a Meteor piston. I happen to have a OEM used head on the way. Very rare to find those for 660. So, by the way, we are upgrading it to a 660 head, but that's beside the point. Maybe a West Coast clutch cover would be cool. I need a 390 XP PTO side bearing. And I need a highway top handle would be good. Nice fresh top handle. So, I think that's a pretty good list. Should make this saw back to fairly complete. So I'm going to get on that and see what we can do as far as getting stuff ordered. But what a job. I mean, you end up needing all this little randomness, and it's a job. Okay, so let's put this over here. And we're going to get pulling things apart, I think. Let's get the handle off. Have a small box just for whatever I'll just throw in here for parts that are used but junk, essentially. If you're doing a more formal job, then you certainly want to have all the old parts, no matter how good or bad. Back to the customer. Because I know automatically what's going to happen here. We're just going to take the whole thing apart. That's just what we're going to do. Anybody here gets a saw that look like this, and like, oh, you know, I can do it maybe without changing the bearings or whatnot. No, just do fresh. Do fresh. Might as well. It might need a new clutch. And a new pin bearing there. The drum looks okay, but this clutch got hot. I'll show you guys what's up with this. You guys see the color on that? Plastic? Probably from the pin. Junk. What do you think? New clutch? I think new clutch. That's not going to be cheap. Great. Alright, so I might as well write that down. Probably get an OEM clutch if I can. Excuse me. Okay. So, that's kind of, we know that's not going to be super fun to take off. Great. Cover off here. Oh, I'm gonna get this off first. That's fine. Hey, Tim. I'm gonna do this right in the ultrasonic. Something I missed one. That's why. this all right in the ultrasonic. Yikes. What gunk. Tension off and pop this. That'll go right in the ultrasonic too. It'd be nice if we can pop this off so we can get the clutch off. My rope though, where's my rope? It rolls pretty smooth, it really does. But it went lean for some reason. I'm back, Mom call. Okay. Well, welcome back. Wow, that we got lucky there. Okay. Not too bad. I'm just not confident that that clutch is going to be that might just be gunked up. It's not got loosey-gooseys, so it may just be gunked. But in the ultrasonic can find out, right? Worm looks good. Big Dad Trav. How do you come up with a six? This guy showed up today. He said he got it for nothing from somebody, and it was in pieces and didn't run or what. I don't know. He took it apart some, and it's like, hey, let's do it. You know, okay. Running a dull chain cook the saw, maybe. Maybe. The bearing feels, let's see. I don't feel any play. Let's see if we can get the handle off here. Well, I've got this up here. I can pull like that. The seal looks good, admittedly. That's the thing, is you look at it and say, hey, that looks pretty good. I don't know. I just... There's actually quite a bit of oil in here, in the bottom end. So you gotta wonder what's up, you know? Again, I'm not even gonna worry about it, not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna tear this down and put new bearings in. It's for sure like the easiest way to ensure that you're good, you know? this is pretty similar to what I was doing just last night. Put that in the ultrasonic. I'll put this in the ultrasonic too. And then this little baby here, I'm going to pull the spring off so I don't lose it. Again, ultrasonic, and then this actually has to come off too because if this is going to get powdered, which it is, this is really the best way to get a saw free, you know. That's kind of my thought on that. Chippy's ATV. Yeah, take the 441 and put it on Craigslist. That's what I would do. When's this last rebuild? Oh, gee. Good question. Well, actually, somebody put a different top end on this, and they cooked that one. So something's up somewhere. Good news is, so Cam gave me quite a budget to work with here, so I told him I'm just going to kind of follow my nose here and do what I think I need to do. Just got the top end and just reassembly as I'm watching. Good. If you actually got that thing back together, then I'm happy for you. And then put it on Craigslist. So you don't have to deal with it again. Somebody will want them things. That was a little loose. I'm just pulling the AV screws out. Just to try to get the tank off here. I don't need the tank on. Yes, I'm live. What's up? Impulse line. Again, some of this stuff might actually be good, but you don't know. Gonna have to pull the coil off too. Uh-oh. By the way, if anybody's in dire need of a 288 crankcase, I've got a beautiful one. You got an 028? Those are, I don't know if those are fun to work on either. I'm just not familiar with the 028s. This actually needs to get unplugged from over here. This piece goes in like that. It holds it in. Okay. So, yeah, these have to get unplugged. Yellow and black wires. Easy way to do this is pull the black wire through first. Then the yellow wire. pushes through. Pull that through that grommet, and now you got your coil. Now the tank should come off. Bugger. No need to behave like a 372 tank, you know? That. Don't lose that. I usually anticipate 660 tanks just to fall right off. This one is not. Rubber AV piece up there, which I'll need to get. So you keep adding to the list as you go, and it does tend to get a little bit on the long side. That's shot. Still gonna put it down there. So now let's take the oiler off. And of course there's oil in here. Why doesn't that surprise me? Yeah, the edge is kind of black looking, admittedly. So it's possible that that's cooked. Oil cap too. Almost there. Little oiler output rubber piece. Yes. Hang on, you're right. That guy. Yep. That's fine. Let's get the flywheel off. Yeah, I have not personally had a 650 in my hands either. It's interesting. I don't think it's like interesting, super valuable, but it's just interesting. Really kind of hoping that the puller thread's in here, which I think that it does. So, is this 19 millimeter? No. 17? Is there a washer? Does not look like it. Okay. This is where having tools helps. Let's see, is that too small? Yep. Okay. Was the pressure? Sorry, Big Dad Trav. Sorry, no, it was not pressure tested first. All I know about it is that it looks like it's been ridden hard and put away wet. So it's just easier for me if I'm building a saw like this. You can sit there for, and do a pressure test, and it can take you an awfully long time. Sometimes there's just no point. When you have a saw that has some age on it, just tear it down. You don't even have to think about it, Yeah, that's not right. Big enough. .24mm is not big enough either. Great. Well, let's hope I got that down far enough. What is it? 50? I think it's 52. I think it's 52. 17mm much. And this is poly flywheel. Puller, super handy. Poly flywheel seems to be intact. PA6 GF30. Yeah, intact flywheel. Yeah, this had an aftermarket head on it already. At least I think it's aftermarket. There's no steel markings on it anywhere. Well, there's no markings on it anywhere. Hi, guys from Hungary. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Actually, it's done for the day here. Gonna get this thing apart. What I like to do. These woodruff keys get lost so easy. So I pull them out. All right. I guess I can pull out tensioner first. Why is that not coming off? Really? There, fine. There it goes. So I'm taking apart your tensioner here. There's a little rubber O-ring in here. That seems to be intact and fine. Okay. NTN Japan bearing. I don't feel any slop in the bearings. Nothing. Which aftermarket cylinder kit is good for a 262? I don't honestly know. I would try to find an original head and a meteor piston if I were you. That was easy. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think the main bearing, the big end bearing is fine. On the crank, so no issues there. Yep, the 262 is a cool saw. You just got to find parts for it, which unfortunately ain't easy. Oh shoot, you know what I keep forgetting to do? And knock the pins out. See, if I knock the pin through there, this will be easier. Okay, I have another idea. I need, what do I need? Right. Clamp. That just holds that side together so that it'll force that side further apart as I push. There we go. There you go. Bearing seems okay. Question is this a short case gasket, or is this a long case gasket? Gonna have to take the serial number here and check. There it is. There's the number. George Nursery, does the steel tool that mounts to the bar studs do the same thing? Sort of. You're not going to get the flywheel side out like that. This is more, it's hobby, but it's more habit than hobby. I just can't stop doing this. So yeah, I don't like the bar stud one. Tends to be useful for certain things, but not for everything. So I like the clamp style. Definitely for other things too. And this is the Husky style clamp. So I use this most of the time. If this doesn't do what I want it to do for whatever reason, then I just use heat. And when you use heat to split the cases, then the bearing typically stays on the crank, which case is not a big deal. You just need a bearing puller to pull it off. And Harbor Freight actually makes a bearing puller set that's like 45 bucks. It's really not bad. It's gonna go kapop, so I give it a whack. Some encouragement. There we go. Boom. Yeah, that'll clean up beautiful. Okay. It says NTN, it says Germany. Whatever. Yeah, I've tried the ceramic hybrid bearings. I don't think they make a hoot of difference for most chainsaws, but I have them in a saw. But I just don't think they make a big enough difference to justify the cost. I can't honestly tell a difference. Unfortunately, I don't know how to get these out, but I know Block does, so I'm going to leave that to him, actually. He might not like me for it, but... Let's see if I can get that. Knock the seal out. Bearings seemed like they were fine. Just wouldn't trust them after seeing a saw in that shape, you know? And this actually has a plastic cage, so I'm going to try to avoid that with the Nachi. Let's feel the seal material here. It's kind of hard. It is. It's not super supple. So let's pull the other one out and see what happens there. I've never actually done seals like this before, but that works. It's kind of crapped. Yeah, you know, it feels off. It's almost sharp. You can hear that. If I run my finger over the rubber, I don't think good rubber does that. You're not going to get that sound, that gritty sound. So yeah, seals are messed up. Put them in there. Okay. Off for powder coat. Have I tried Highway? Sure. I was actually one of the early adopters of the Highway stuff for my 346 XPs. I have some really hot 346 XPs with Highway heads that are heavily modified, but I haven't used them lately. So, but it's a good topic. Before we get into that, how many people are? I have 14 people here. Before we get into that, because it's aftermarket and OEM heads is a great topic. I want to show you guys if anybody's interested in a super sweet 288 crankcase, fresh powder, fresh bearings, bottom end completely assembled. You get the gaskets, all that shit, all that stuff, the whole chute. This is really nice shape. Glock did the powder, so 288. If anybody wants this, they can contact me. I've got it advertised a few places. It's $350 shipped. You are exceptionally unlikely to find another piece like that. So the powder coating is not cheap, especially when you back and forth with the shipping and the whole chute. Plus it's put together with a nice crank and OEM gasket. So if anybody's interested, they can contact me for that. My contact info is here. Just get rid of the ampersands if anybody wants to shoot me an email. Okay, I just put it down in the live chat. Okay, heads, aftermarket, OEM, all that stuff. So with cylinder heads, everybody approaches this different. The way that I approach cylinder heads is that if I have a new, really nice looking OEM head, I don't really like to port them, especially like the 288 heads. They're so nice. The 272 heads, just beautiful. Just don't like to port the OEM heads because they're so nice. It just feels like sacrilege going and grinding on those things. If it's a used head, yeah, I'll go and grind on it. The other thing is that I really don't mind grinding on like a $30 head. You know, if you get a $30 cylinder head, grind on it all day. Who cares? Depends on really what you're going for. I had this discussion. Brian showed up today. He's been here before. He and I were having this talk, and if you're going for resale value, you better be putting OEM in. You better be putting OEM. If you're going for top dollar for resale, you got to get OEM. And you say, you know what, it makes the saw too expensive. Well, you should have paid less for the saw. That's one thing that you got to do, is you got to start doing the math on these things. And this is what average timber cutter was talking about was, you know, when was its last rebuild? You got to start asking questions before you're buying saws. You know, when was its last rebuild is an extremely important question to ask, because it will generally drive the price of the saw down. If the answer is I don't know or never, then the price of the saw has to go down. It's just the way that it is. If you're buying these older saws, you also really need to know kind of what you're looking at. Don't get these things for too much money. They're just not worth it. That's why the aftermarket heads start making sense for some people too, is if you want to screw around with things, get an aftermarket head, start grinding on it, have a good time. You know? Got all kinds of stuff regarding that. So the thing is, so Husqvarna really kind of did, a few years ago, they really disturbed the market. They did a really market disrupting thing, and they dropped the price of their OEM heads significantly. So you can get like a 372 head. Why is there glass here? You can get a 372 head for like $150 for an OEM head. A Meteor head's like $120, $130, maybe more. So some of the price differentials are just not there enough to justify going to the aftermarket. You might as well get OEM. So you have to look at those. Now, a $30 head versus a $150 head, then you might, you know, scratch your head and say, hey, you know, that price differential might make it worth it. If you're going for absolute reliability, if you're going for resale value, still, gotta go OEM. Know your stuff, know your products, know your price points before you get into anything. So, questions, comments, anything else, guys? Caber rings, yes. I'm on eBay. I don't find which seller to send me to Hungary. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're in other parts of the world, it does make it difficult. Yeah, if I have like a really inexpensive head, I will put a Meteor piston in it with some cabers and then run it. So that's essentially what I have. Well, the one I did, the hybrid I just did from last night, put together, that one is, it has to be the piston that comes with that kit, because I don't think Meteor makes a piston that would fit that. It's 54 millimeter, but it's not a 660 piston. It's a 460 big bore. So the heights and things are different on that. One day maybe I'll get to measure that. But if it's good, I buy Meteor piston. This combo, yeah, Meteor piston, great combo in an OEM head, great combo in an aftermarket head. And the meteor pistons do make a difference. Yeah, but that's 500 Canadian for an MS441 cylinder, and also for a 291 lined up for a rebuild. So, so neither of those saws would I rebuild. Those saws I would just simply, you would do much better if you probably sold them for parts. I would not rebuild those saws. I don't like the MS290s, 390s, 291s, anything like that. Forget it. It's just not worth it. Sell them for parts, move them along, find something else that's more rebuildable, that's more easy to rebuild, you know? That's what I would do. That's my own personal preference. And the thing is, the 441, the 291, those are going to bring top dollar, even if they're blown up. Up is a 200T. Yes, go for it. Yes, absolutely with that one. 200Ts are worth a pile of gold no matter what. There are people that pay big money for them things. And you can still build a 200T from brand new parts. They're not making them anymore, but I think it's like $2,100 to do an all OEM brand new 200T. If you mix in a few aftermarket or used parts in there, you bring that down very significantly. But you can still be $500-$600 into a 200T and not be in a bad spot, you know. So I got to run. I'm going to put these in the ultrasonic and head out here. But wanted to do this little teardown with you guys. And yeah, cool stuff. Worst saw they ever made. Yeah. Bob, you spelled my name wrong, but okay. Josh Baker, wait, don't remember being there. There is a Stihl 650. Yeah, they used a smaller head for it for some reason. I don't know why. The 038, 036, those yeah, probably would be worth it. The 038 is really not my thing, but the 036, sure. Yep, it is a Stihl 650. It actually is. Just to prove it, here's the top cover. That's a 5, not a 6. 650. How's that for interesting? Yeah, Mega, too late. That's okay, buddy. I gotta go, but I will chat with you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Do appreciate it, and we will catch you guys some other time. Take care. Later, guys.